In this segment, we will be taking some plain paper and strips of wood and making this roof for our shack. This is meant to be tar paper with batten roofing. They give us some good templates and tools and ideas to help us build this roof for our wooden shack. So let's get to it. To start the roof, I have cut out the roof panels from the template, and we will just make sure the contact points to the template don't leave a little bump, so they're smoothed off with a little file there. So what we're going to do is take this paper, which will simulate tar paper, cut it in pieces and put it on each side. This paper came with the kit, although it was plain when I got it. So I just wanted to weather it a little more and unevenly. So I took some rattle can spray paints, and from a distance, so that it would splatter, hopefully, and not make a real even coat, I sprayed it with a couple different colors, a rust and a dark black chocolate brown color. And I like the way that looks. I want it again to be random. So you need to make two pieces that will cover each half of the roof. I've marked the lines here, which maybe you probably can't see, but I will cut these and then we'll glue them on to the roof. Okay, so we're going to glue these here, so just so they come up to that cut line, which is going to be a fold line for it. All right, so we'll take some glue that we can put on evenly. Decide which side I like. I did both sides so I could have a choice, see which one looks better when they're side by side. I think maybe I like this better. So let's go with, we'll put some glue on this side. Line it up with that guideline, cut line in the middle. Press it into place. There we go. Okay, do the same thing on this side. Okay, and there we have tar paper on the roof. To trim these edges, we're going to use the trick we learned before, where we butt this scrap piece of wood up against the cardboard, the ruler against the strip, and then when we remove it, we've got a line that's right along the edge of the cardboard. Hold the knife on that line, and we can trim the edge. We only want left and right edge, not the long edges. So don't forget that and trim too much off. Okay, here we go. All right. Now we're going to fold this over. So I'm going to get a little more glue. I'm going to do it first so the paper gets in, gets a little crease and it's easier to fold over later. Okay, and then we'll add the glue. This is a good idea. Rather than cut it flush with the edge, rolling it over will make a nicer, cleaner look and finished look. Okay, can do this. Hold that down. That's a much better look for an edge than a uncut edge might be. Once I've folded them over, I'm going to put a weight on them until they dry. Back to the template he gives you, he puts these little hash marks, which are very helpful. Keeps us from measuring. And what we can do is mark on here some lines that coincide with those, and that will help us line up the wooden battens we're going to put on top and make sure they're aligned. Okay, so that's ready for the battens, but first we're going to glue the roof on the shack. Okay, I'm going to hold it in place like this and just mark on the underside so I know where it should go left to right when I put it back on. And then get some glue here. Now I can line it up with my mark. I'm going to put some trim pieces here. So they'll need to be cut at an angle. Well, they have thought of that and made that easier for us by making a template, rafter cutting guide. So I can put the wood right in there, line it up with the guide, and if I cut on those lines, I'll have the perfect angle for the roof line trim. Okay. And you can see we've got the perfect angles top and bottom for that. So this rafter cutting guide is a really nice thing to put in there for us. Now I'm going to glue these to the edge of the roof, the outside edge, so the top of this rafter or trim is flush with the top of the roof. Okay. Try a little more glue. There we go. The end trim pieces are now attached. I have cut the ridge line pieces and I'll glue them on now. They should be flush with the edge of the trim. Then we'll make this one flush with the edge of this too, so that gap is covered. Now we can use this template again to mark temporarily on here where those battens should line up on the top edge. So now I've got lines at the top and bottom, and we can make sure all of these are straight. So I have weathered and stained the battens, which they give you in the kit. I'll cut these to length and fit them down. They will also go on these edges, and that will cover the top edge of this trim piece, so it's a nice clean finish. We'll have 5 pieces per side. I'm just finishing up the battens on the roof. We're using these guidelines that I drew in pencil. They were provided on the template that the roof base came from, and they're proving real helpful to line things up. I'm lining up the top and bottom lines. There we go. And there we have the battens, edge trim, top trim, and that finishes our roof. We will move on to painting and weathering all the details that come with the kit to place around the shed and bring it to life.